I actually still see it being taught with telling you to turn that trail shoulder through the hitting area. And the only reason, well, there's 3 separate reasons why you should ever try to do that, is that you are Alex Noren and you never want to see the golf ball going left, so you're going to rehearse something that's completely opposite of what you really do, and you're going to turn your shoulders longer to get your arms out in front. The second reason would be that you've been a habitual thrower of the golf club that's gotten the arms out away from you way too early, and we as instructors can get you to stop doing that so much by telling you to turn longer. And then the third and final reason is that you don't really care about speed. Speed's not important, you need to hit it a lot shorter, or you're hitting a wedge. Today, I'm going to help you extract a ton of speed out of your golf swing and a whole lot more consistency by teaching you what your right foot and your right shoulder should be doing through the point of contact and through the release. Now, before I start to embark on today's journey with you, I want you to remember this. These 2 things need to be burned on the forefront of your brain for you to be able to go forward. Your trail foot, my right foot, is going to be a braking mechanism for body turn through the point of contact. The second thing I want you to remember is that the position of your trail shoulder at the point of contact and how it moves its way through impact is going to influence the direction in which your hands and your arms are going to work. So if my shoulders are closed, my hands and arms are working out to the right. If my shoulders are open, my hands and arms are working over to the left. If my right shoulder is significantly lower than my left, my hands are working more on an ascending blow rather than a descending blow. The very first step that we're going to be working on is getting you from an address position to an impact position and having complete awareness of where your right shoulder and your right foot are, making sure that we can become very proficient with that position. Now this drill, and I know a lot of you at home are getting ready to go down in the comments to type this, is this a drill that I can do with my driver? This is a drill that's really specific to your irons, your fairway woods, and your hybrids. You can leave the driver for another series of videos that we have on the website or on the channel. But today we're working on getting ourselves into a good impact position for a stock shot with your irons, fairway woods, and your hybrids. Now in step number 1, the key here is to understand the position that we're going to be trying to get back to. And I want you to look at Ludwig Oberg here on the screen really closely, and I want you to look at his trail foot at the point of contact. And I want you to look at his trail shoulder really closely. What you're going to notice is that the trail foot is completely down on the ground. It is rolled to the inside portion of it. And if you look closely at the trail shoulder, it's in a down and depressed position, and his shoulder line is nice and square to the target. That's the position that we're going to be working to try to get to. So how I want you to do this is I want you to go ahead and take your setup. Okay, make sure you have a good setup. Make sure the ball position is off of your lead ear on the logo on your chest. And from this position, what I want you to do is I want you to take your trail foot and start rolling to the inside portion of it, moving your hips and your upper body to your lead side. And as that starts to happen, you're going to turn your core as much as you can, keeping the trail shoulder exactly where it was at address. Your right foot should feel very light to the ground. It should be still kind of flattish, but it's rolled to the inside. And this is a position right here of impact. That's what you're going to be working to get back to. Now in step number 1, this is where I typically like you to put all of your reps, where I like you to get somewhere between 100 to 300 repetitions of just this movement. But the reality is that step 2, moving through this position, is really the bread and butter of the program. So what we're going to do in step number 1 is we're going to do about 25 reps, and we're going to bring an impact bag in here. These are great because they're going to stop us at the point of contact. If you don't have one, get one. They're super cheap. You can get them on Amazon. I'm not trying to sell you anything. If you don't have one at this moment, then take out your mom's favorite towels or blankets and just pile them up on the ground. I'm going to move it out of the golf ball out of the way, and I've got my 8-iron out here today. And I'm just going to go ahead and take my setup, and I'm going to get myself right back into that same spot. So I'm keeping the trail shoulder down and depressed. I'm going to roll to the inside portion of my trail foot, trying to keep my head really quiet. And I'm just going to rotate my core so my hips open up. Just like so. So you're going to go from an address position to that impact position. Take a snapshot of what your trail foot feels like and your trail shoulder feels like. Okay? Now you're going to make a little small swing, getting back to that same spot. Is my trail shoulder down and depressed? You betcha. My trail foot still down on the ground? Yep. All good. Keep the tension levels down in your hands and your arms and start making the swing a little bit longer and challenge yourself to see how long of a swing you can make and get back into that exact same spot. This is the piece that needs to be in place to know that you're ready to start taking on step number 2. So occasionally stop and preset the position just to create some awareness. Okay, try to be perfect here. Shoulders should be square, trail shoulder should be down and depressed, trail foot should be rolled to the inside portion. All right, so step number 1 is complete. It was a piece of cake. This is where things are gonna start getting a little bit more complicated. We're gonna get the impact bag out of there. We're gonna put a golf ball back down on the ground to focus our eyes on, because now we're gonna be starting to move through impact into a really good post-impact position. Now, if you've been following my content at all over the last couple of years, you know that as I've been building the adaptive swing, there are 4 key positions that really we focus in on. Your setup being number 1, your delivery being number 2, impact number 3, and post-impact number 4. At that post-impact position, or after that, the golf swing and everything that we do with our body is done. That's where the golf swing ends. Everything that happens after that should be our body following the deceleration of the golf club into a finish position. Now, I want to put that video of Ludwig back up on the screen, and I want you to look at his trail foot very closely as his hands and his arms start to work through contact and into that post-impact position. What do you notice about the trail foot? Well, it hasn't changed at all. He's still using it as a braking mechanism, as a way for him to stay in posture. Now, if you look at his trail shoulder, it's a little bit of a different story. It's starting to change positions. It's moving dynamically. The trail shoulder is starting to lower, and the shoulder line is actually starting to open up ever so slightly. That's exactly what you're gonna learn in step number 2. You're gonna get really good at this, making swings to that post-impact position, checking to make sure that your trail foot hasn't changed, but feeling the new movement from your trail shoulder as your arms start to extend in front of your body. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the same sort of thing that we did in step number 1, but we're gonna change how you move through impact with feeling the right shoulder and the right foot function here. So go ahead and take your setup. Ball position should be down on the ground so you can focus on it. Keep that trail shoulder down and depressed. Roll to the inside portion of that trail foot. Now from here, what I want you to do is I want you to keep that trail shoulder down as much as you can, and I want you to turn it underneath your chin and extend your arms. So there's that post-impact position. And all I did was keep my right foot right where it was and turn that trail shoulder underneath my chin and reach my arms out in front of me. This is a position that's pretty uncomfortable. You're gonna feel a lot of stretch here. You're gonna feel a lot of pressure up through your lead side glute. It's a position that we're gonna be moving through in just a moment here. But we wanna make some small swings just to get back to that spot. And then as we start to make these smaller swings, we can start to feel like we're doing this correctly. We're gonna back check it on camera, make sure that we're seeing and feeling is all lined up with one another. And then we're gonna start allowing our body to swivel and pivot up into a finish, because the reality is this, is as I just said to you a moment ago, people get themselves into trouble with drills like this by deadlocking that foot on the ground and trying to slow the body down way too much and like really creating all this resistance. You don't want to be resistant. You want to let the club move you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do some reps now. And I'm going to go ahead and set up, preset impact, trail shoulder underneath. Okay, I can feel that spot. Just going to make a little small swing. Okay, really focusing in on the shoulder. My foot tried to come up off the ground a little bit. Okay, it's used to doing that. Okay, I'm staying disciplined. If it's not in the right spot, I'm going to fix it. Okay, so I'm just making little short swings, landing in that correct spot. If you're able to do that proficiently, this is where we need to start kind of thinking about that short to long drill that you've probably seen me do in the past. I like to make short backswings and start to move through that position, and now start to allow myself to pivot onto my big toe into a finish position. You want to think about landing in that spot, but I want you to feel like your hands and your arms and that good visual of what you just did with your trail shoulder is staying in that position until it moves through post-impact. So here's what it's going to look like. Take your time. Okay, you want to be disciplined here. Okay, notice how I'm staying really, really slow with the cadence. Hold the finish position for a second just to make sure you're in the right spot. So you can start to pick up the pace. Try not to hit a lot of golf balls at first because you're trying to teach yourself a new movement. So I'm really trying to stay in that right shoulder and right foot function as much as I can until the hands and arms and the club start to pass up through that post-impact position. If I'm feeling connected to it and I'm moving in a short to long fashion and I'm landing in a good spot and I feel like my feels and reels are really lined up with one another, then you can challenge yourself to hit some golf balls with it. That's what we're here to do in the first place. Remember, we're trying to get 1% better every time we practice. How you practice needs to be disciplined. You don't want to go out there and just start trying to do a new movement until you know that you can get to the correct impact position, until you got some good feels around the shoulder and the foot. Start moving through that and make it a real sort of situation, and you're going to see some good success. You get what I'm saying? Okay, good. Let's try to hit a shot now and see what it looks like. So this is exactly why I built My Golf DNA to be My Golf DNA, because you're not seeing exactly what's happening at the speed in which I worked at. You can't possibly see it. But when we slow it down, you'll see exactly what we just worked on for the last 10 minutes of your life. You have to take your time and learn how to crawl. And that's exactly what the best players have learned how to do in order to be able to get speed and consistency out of the bottom of the swing arc. Make sure if you like today's video, do us a big favor, leave us a like. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post it up below. And always remember, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us out tremendously. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'll see you guys in the next video.